Catherine and Elom have been dumped from the island. Scott and Amber did not make bottom four. What a twist. Welcome back to Reality Tving podcast, and we've got a lot to talk about. Last night's episode started with Katie and her cheers. She was the one that did the cheers last night for the first night, because there were 2 nights that we got to see last night. And then while she was making the cheers, she mentioned that congratulations to Zach and Molly for being as their close love. And that was kind of a shock to Zach. Rewind, Molly had told Katie, because she asked, and then Molly had told Katie that yes, they're kind of closed off, they're not open to seeing new bombshell. So she let it slip. And Zach was like, he didn't take it to her, like he was even surprised about that. And then Molly pulled Zach. They both went to sit down, and then Molly explained to Zach that it wasn't like she said it that they are closed off, but she was like saying that if they are new bombshell, they will not see the new bombshell because they're kind of closed off and they like each other and they're trying to see what will happen outside. At the end of the day, they ended up being closed off because Zach was like, he doesn't even know the meaning of closed off, but he's not open to meeting new bombshells. What we'll say about this whole thing is, we do not think Katie said it out of a place of hate though, but she knew that they had not told everybody in the villa and they kept it as a secret. If anything, it looks like there's still a little bit of bad blood, for lack of a better word, there that Katie has for Zach and Molly, because she came back single. She could have been coupled. She wanted to definitely couple up back with Zach, and now he's with Molly, and then they're closed off, not even open to meeting anybody. So there might still be a little bit of bad blood between her and them, more from her, because I think they've just moved on and they're not really even talking about her. But maybe there's the word to use maybe is resentment there. And Molly took it well. Molly even went back to Katie, said she understands that she didn't mean it from a bad place, and she explained what the closed off was all and all. So fast forward to Scott, Abby, and Mitch having a triangle. Scott, he's single due to the fact that Catherine recoupled, but he's not that single because he's coupled up with Amber, but those two do not like themselves, And maybe it's coming from the fact that when they did movie night, Amber said that, she was like the first person that said, nobody wanted him at Casa. That's why he came back single. And he probably took that to heart. And they just do not see it like that. But he's currently feeling Abby, who is in a couple with Mitch. If you're counting number of triangles Mitch has been in, it has been a lot. So now they were having a conversation, talking and all, and Mitch had to call Molly. That was his first triangle. I trying to get advice from her that how should he go about this so that it doesn't, he first, this is basically like almost what happened to him with her. So she gave him good advice. Well, things that he should do, he should play it cool and all, but he should be stern, like what he wants and all. And it's all good. I think the fact that I even called Molly to try and know, because he has gone through it before, how to go about it, I think that's big ups to him. As for Abby and Scott, Scott is feeling Abby. It kind of looks more like it's even Abby feeling Scott, because his attention was not there at first. It was more like a friendship thing for him. And then once Abby's there feeling him more, and people start pointing his eyes to that maybe there is something there, then he decided to push for it. And for Abby is giving this, I'm very confused. I don't know who to pick. She's telling Scott he's her type physically. She's also telling him that she sees her and Mitch walking out on the outside. I think what would hasten Abby's decision is when a bombshell comes in and Scott decides to move to the new bombshell. They will then know, who is she sticking with? And then the next recoupling, the girls have not really done the picking. Let the girls pick. And let her pick when Scott and Mitch are both standing. So we'll know where and what she's actually, the decision she would have to make. because right now she even cried last night because she just didn't know how to handle the whole thing. Let's fast forward from that. The next morning, we had Elom, and Elom pulled Katrin for a chat, and he was basically saying things are going well, but he would like to tell her that if a new bombshell comes in, he's not going to be rude or close off. He's going to try and know her. He's just trying to sugarcoat the fact that he's open to seeing, getting to know a new bombshell. He was making it clear that right now in the villa, he's closed off to her, but he's open to getting to know a new bombshell, which kind of, I think, he tried to make it look so beautiful and the way he said it, but I think Katrin got the message. If you really like somebody and you think is going somewhere, you will not be open to getting to know a new bombshell. And this is the thing with what we said in the last time when we spoke, that with the Casa Amor guys and ladies, one has to be careful, because sometimes they'll just be using them, the people they are coupled up with, to get into the villa, and then after that you then get to know, because the way he's sounding and the way he's moving, it's looking like he just used that to get into the villa. Fast forwarding from all that, we now have, it got to 9 time, and then Ella got a message which read that the public have been voting for the most compatible couple, and then she got another message saying Katrin and Elom are the least compatible, and then Whitney read the next message which said Katrin and Elom have been dumped from the island. There's a lot we have to say about this. We've spoken about Katrin before, and this was in respect to Andre, the way she handled situations there. It's the public right now are just catching up to how she handled with what she did with Scott. But we would say this is not the first time she had played this card. She played, the thing with Katrin is once she sees a new guy that she likes, she really does not put to mind or does not really put in or factor the fact that the person she's leaving behind for this new guy might not really like it. Maybe because it was Andre, nobody bothered. First of all, once Zach picked her, the babe got up. They didn't even look back at Andre or anything. That night, Andre had to even pull her closer, but she just moved. Andre was still in that house. She was already kissing Zach. Moved on. Andre tried to play cool and all. What even saved her was the fact that Andre got a VIM dumped, because by the time Scott came in, she was already ready to, the way she even said, no, I'm not close up. She was ready to get to know Scott. What made it even for the viewers not to notice early was because Andre got evicted. Because if he had not been evicted, it would have been so bad, because Andre he would have recoupled with Richie, but he didn't recouple with Richie, which got Richie evicted. After given the fact that Richie even helped him get back into the villa, because he would have been standing alongside with the first guy that got evicted. And then he saved you from getting evicted. But Scott comes in and you're ready within a flip, you are ready to get to know Scott and dump Andre the second time. But people swept that under the carpet, and the fact that Andre got evicted, so it would look like it was okay for her to get to know Scott. Now fast forward, and she has met another new guy, Elom, and she's playing the same card now. She wants to get to know Elom, and then she's dumping Scott. But it's not even the fact that she's moving on that was now the issue with her with the public. It was the fact that when she came back from Casa, she didn't handle it well. It's okay to have moved on, but I think what she was trying to do is stay on the defensive. She didn't want to be apologizing and making it look like what she did was bad. So when he tried to explain things, she just went defensive. It's kind of like a mind game in which you are not trying to make it look like you did a bad thing. You're trying to push it on to the other person so that you don't need to apologize and everybody thinks you did him bad. So she was trying to also pinpoint things that where he's bad and all that. It was so bad at movie night. She even said that the reason why he came back single was because nobody wanted him, and I think that was the one that brought the cameras back for a lot of people. But she was really trying to make it look like what she did was not bad and that she's not a bad person in that situation. It worked for her when it came to the Islanders. they really like Scott anyways, but they all took her side, like, oh yes, she knew what she did wasn't good, what she did wasn't bad and all. But when it came to the public, it didn't work in her favor. She might have been able to get the other islanders on her side, which was why they were all shocked. And the viewers took Scott's side because what they expected from her was just a much more calmer demeanor. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I found somebody else. I hope things work out for you and all. I hope we can still be friends. Something in that line. But she just went defensive, trying to look like, oh well, what I did was good and you didn't like me and all those things, and you're trying to play like you liked me or something like that. Although we've always said it here that with Scott, we can't really say if he liked Catherine or not. That was even before Casamore, because of how everything went. Even the way that he had to pick her, she was the last person that he had to pick, and then the guys kept coming to him that Sammy even made a statement that he's not physically attracted to her. Then there was also Ty that was coming with he doesn't like you, just using to stay in this thing. So with all those things, it would have looked like he had to hang on so as to prove the other guy is wrong. So clearly you can't even say, especially if you're looking at it from her angle. And we hope that when she comes out, she just apologizes, goes, this. I've seen where I did this and that, and moves on from that. We hope she doesn't come out and also goes and start being defensive and, oh no, you people saw it wrong, this. Her fans have been trying to pull a lot of cards these days, trying to look like, play it like Scott is the bad guy, she's the good guy and all this. It has not worked for them outside. She should not come and use that same card. And it all boils down to people who are in her ears right now. But we hope that she just lets it die down. Just show that, okay, I've seen where I was wrong. I should have handled the situation this much better. I should have done this and that, and let it die down. But if you come out and start being defensive, you're definitely going to be in for it. So last night, after they got dumped, after Catherine and Elom got dumped, they were like, oh yes, it's not over. There are still more people to be dumped. And then they called the bottom three. And Scott and Amber were shocked that they didn't get to the bottom three, because those two don't like each other. So we were like, okay, if you're doing compatible couples, we're supposed to be in the bottom three. And they were kind of shocked. Even the other islanders, I'm sure that we're going to have an earful of them being shocked, talking about the fact that Scott is still in the game. And the reason why Scott is still there is because people have been saying and using the word bullying loosely, that's what has been happening to him. But the way the other islanders have been to him and all has made Scott, the viewers go all in for Scott the way they didn't know. Some people even thought that Scott would not be the lowest, but the fact that he was one of the top is something else. He might even have had the highest votes, and that's something that has shocked people. Who is going home tonight? Among the three bottom couples, one person is going home tonight. Who do we think is going home? Most likely might be Leah and Montel. We'll definitely miss them because, people might call them boring, but I think they are sweet to watch. The way they show love and affection towards each other is actually something that is good for TV. Very nice view and very nice to watch. Also, there is also KD and Uzi that people are just a little bit skeptical about. So I think it's between those two that will be going, because they're not leaving it to the islanders. It's looking like it's still those that were least, that got the least votes that will be going, which will also be like a shocker to the islanders because Leah and Montel actually closed off. That and that, also, we're going to see 2 new bombshells coming in. We'll see what happens tonight. Thank you very much. If you've listened this far, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're listening on YouTube, like so that we can make more videos and encourage us. If you're on podcast, please follow us and also give us 5-star and answer the poll questions that are on Spotify. Thank you.